Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to today's webinar from Medlink students. We're really excited to have you all here this evening. We're going to try and give you the best insight possible into studying medicine and/or dentistry abroad. So to start off with, your host, it'll be myself. I'm a senior advisor at Medlink students. I've been working with Medlink now for many years and helped thousands of students on their journey. We're also lucky enough to have one of our most senior admission experts, Daniela, who's going to be joining us as well. But of course, let's take the spotlight away from us because it's not about us this evening. It's about our incredible universities and students. So here you can see we've got a host of representatives from the universities who are going to be speaking this evening and sharing a little bit more information about the universities to help you see if they are a suitable option for you as an individual. And then, of course, we're going to be speaking with some students. We've got plenty of students in the lineup this evening, all with a variety of different experiences, some in medicine, some in dentistry, some have just been studying for a year or two, some for many years now. They're into their clinical experiences. So they're going to be giving you the best insight they possibly can into why you should study medicine or dentistry abroad and if it's right for you. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to be talking about a few different things. We're obviously going to be discussing a little bit about ourselves as an organization. We're going to be talking about what the situation is currently when it comes to studying abroad, some of the benefits and the advantages of doing that. We're going to be looking at all the admission and the tuition fees and how to apply to these universities. And then, of course, we're going to bring in our representatives and some of our students to talk about the universities themselves. From here, we're going to discuss a little bit about how we tie into all of this and how we can help you if it seems like something that you're interested in going for. And then, of course, we're going to do a live Q&A session, which is where we're going to go over your most commonly asked questions throughout the webinar. Some of the students hopefully are going to be choosing some questions as well to answer. So if you want any students to answer questions, please put their name in the question and say who you're asking for, and we'll be able to ask them the questions from there. Okay, so we always get asked, who is Medlink Students? So at Medlink Students, we're an organization that's run by a team of doctors, but it wasn't always that way. Now, when the company started, which was just over 12 years ago now, it was actually started by medical students. Just like what you're looking to go and do now, they were in the same position. They were trying to figure out, where should I go? Where is it safe? Where can I get into? Where is it going to be recognized when I go back to the UK or the US or wherever they wanted to go? And so they decided on some schools in Eastern Europe primarily. And they found the whole process so difficult, so daunting, so complicated at times to get through all of the paperwork and everything that was required, that they thought there needs to be an easier way for people like us that are passionate about doing this. There needs to be a way that other people can get help and support, because they saw many people fail when they were trying to do it themselves, and a lot of their friends they had to apply 2 or 3 times to eventually get in, and obviously that takes years, and you don't want to be waiting years to be getting into medicine. So they designed Medlink Students primarily as an organization that would support, help and nurture every single one of you that has a passion just as much as they do towards becoming a doctor or a dentist. So we do everything we can to help you with that and to make sure that you can achieve your dreams. And of course, as the years have gone on, we've increased in size. Obviously, myself and the team of advisors are available. And yeah, we just continue to grow. So you can see here, yes, doctors, advisors like myself. We also have our admissions teams. They're specific to the different countries where you're applying. We have some of the most experienced admissions representatives in Europe at the moment. So they know everything there is to know. They work with the universities directly on a weekly, sometimes daily basis, and they'll be able to support you. And of course, we have our on-ground support teams, because it's not just about getting the admission, but what do you do when you go over there? It's a new country. Many of you have never left your homes before, or lived away from home. And so we want to be able to help you with that. So we invest a lot in having teams on the ground to make sure that you have the support you need when you go over. Now, I'll be going over this in a bit more detail later on in the presentation, but this was just to give you a general overview for now. Let's talk a little bit about studying abroad itself. Now, studying abroad has many benefits, and you will be hearing about a lot of these benefits later on in the presentation from the students themselves. But just to go over a few key ones. One is the affordability. So of course, if you're looking at places like the UK, the USA, Canada, Australia, medical school can be very, very expensive. And oftentimes as a native student, you can borrow the money, but then you're going to end up in a lot of debt. So one of the big reasons why people go and study abroad is they can get just as high a quality of education in a country with a much lower level of economy, meaning that they pay much lower fees and they still get an internationally recognized degree with a high quality of education. That's not all. There's also, you can see here, a few more. One is flexible admissions. Now, this one is a huge one. Obviously, for a lot of you, going abroad may be a plan B. You might have a university in your own country or a few universities in mind, and you're hoping to get into that choice. But if it doesn't work out, one of the great things about going abroad is the admissions can be a lot more flexible in some countries. It doesn't mean that there's any less quality in these places. It just means they have the spaces available. And for people that are passionate enough and dedicated enough to move country, to become a doctor or a dentist, these spaces are readily available for you, as long as you can get through all of the processes that we would obviously help you with. And of course, as I mentioned before, the recognition. Another big point here is that they're all English taught courses. This is really fundamental for a lot of students. You're going to medical school, it's going to be very tough. You don't want to have to learn a whole new language to fluency as well. It just doesn't work out for most people. So of course, the courses are tailored around you as an international student, and this is a great thing to see. Going on from there, of course, you can return home to practice, and we will support you with that as well. There's also loads of variety with the options. You can have, and you'll see today, we have a huge variety of universities today. Some are in massive cities, some are very small locations. Some of them will be very close to your home country, perhaps. Some of them much further away. Depending on what you want, there will always be something. And we have conversations with you if you want to book any appointments with us. They're completely free, and we can of course discuss options that are relevant to you. Okay, so going on from there, we're using the UK as an example because of course we're a UK based organization, but this is the same situation and is a growing situation for many countries all around the world. Now, just to explain this graph, this is showing the number of doctors every single year that are coming back to register with the GMC, and these are UK nationals. So these are UK passport holders who have gone abroad to study and then are coming back to the UK to register. As you can see here, it's just going up and up and up and up to the point now where last year, over 10% of all the registered doctors that registered with the GMC, over 10% of them came from abroad. Just talking about UK doctors, not all of the people that of course have different citizenships and different nationalities that also come to join the GMC every year. And the point we're trying to make by showing this is you're not going to be alone. We work with thousands of students that go abroad, and it's a very comfortable atmosphere. Many of these locations now have been having UK, US and international students for decades, and it's very normal for them. They've got these great communities set up, and they will be there to support you, and you'll hardly even feel like you're away from home. So let's talk about the differences with medical education abroad, because I know for those of you coming from the UK, we're used to the 5-year MBBS style, or if you're coming from the US, for example, you'll be used to the 4-year advanced MD style. It really varies depending on where you're from. But in Europe, it's pretty simple. Most places are all the same. It's a 6-year MD, and the course duration in total is typically 6 years. So you're going to be doing 3 years of what's known as preclinical theoretical study, followed by 3 years of clinical rotations. That's where you're going to be in the hospitals working with the patients. Now, during those first 3 years, you're also going to be doing a lot of lab work as well as clinical skills training. So working on dummies, for example, getting everything you need to know before you go into the clinical rotations in years 4, 5, and 6. As you can see here, entry requirements, typically they have exams, interviews, sometimes they require you to have A-levels or any other version of diploma. Again, the beauty of this is the variety. We can almost always find a school that will work for you as an individual. You know, do you have a BTEC? Do you have a West African Education Certificate? Do you have the high school transcript from the States? The ATAR from Australia? All these different examples, they all work in Europe. You just have to find the right school that accepts the right qualification. Going on from there, we also have dental education. Very similar, but with the dental education, typically the courses vary between 5 and 6 years. There's not much difference between these courses. It's just that some of the countries require you to do 6 years because they want you to do more clinical experience. Like Bulgaria, for example, a very popular option in Eastern Europe, they typically require people to do 6 years. So a lot of students are normally inclined sometimes to go for places that offer less. For example, Poland, that has a 5-year course, or Georgia, again, that offers a 5-year dental course. Similar again to medicine, these are typically broken into 2 parts. So you're going to do your theoretical and your practical learning and teaching and all your preclinical skills in the first half. Your second half is going to be mainly focused and dedicated to clinical skills training with real patients. This is really fundamental for most recognition criteria, especially in the Western world, if you're looking to work somewhere like the UK afterwards. So it's very important that you go for one of these European courses that has the correct amount of clinical experience. And again, entry requirements are very similar as to what I said before with medicine. They vary a lot, and we will help you to see exactly which universities are the most suitable for your qualifications. So, graduate entry abroad. Now, this can be relevant for medicine or dentistry. They're done in 2 slightly different ways. So when it comes to graduate entry medicine, the main form that you'll be looking at here is a condensed course where they squeeze everything together into a condensed 4-year program. And this is for people who have already done a relevant science degree, such as a biomedical sciences degree or a nursing degree. As you can see, there are other relevant qualifications as well. You can always check in with us and we can let you know if your bachelor degree will qualify you in order to do one of these courses. But yes, we'd be happy to go through everything with you with regards to that and see if you qualify. If you do, you will be repeating some subjects you've already done. However, it's going to be at a really fast pace. So you're expected to know and pick these things up very quickly. And that's how they're able to get it all down into a 4-year program. Dentistry is slightly different. So with graduate dentistry, they actually transfer credits. So if you have relevant credits to the dental degree, you can transfer those credits. And instead of doing the full 5-year course, you can start in, say, year 2, and you'll only do 4 years to complete the program. And then the final one is, of course, university transfers. So perhaps you're someone that's already studying abroad. Congratulations, first of all, for making the leap and being there. But maybe the school you chose wasn't the best choice for you. Maybe you're looking for something with different recognition, or maybe you want a bigger city or something slightly different to help you complete your degree. We specialize in this as well. So we've been working with transfers for many, many years. We actually have specialist partner schools set up that specialize in transfers. They have spaces allocated in later years so that students like yourself are going to have the ability to transfer into a later year. Now, don't get me wrong, transfers are very, very complicated. You have to look at all the specific modules and the credits and make sure that you have the correct transferability in order to go into the later year. But we help with this, we negotiate on your behalf, and we do absolutely everything we can to ensure that you will get the best result possible. So going on from there, let's talk a little bit about the costs. As you can see here, there are very, very different tuition fees. Somewhere like Georgia, you can get fees for as low as £3,500 or even less than that per year. Whereas somewhere like Germany, you're looking at £21,000, which for most people is a lot of money to pay for tuition fees per year. So why the big difference? The reason for this is actually down to the level of economy more than anything else. A lot of people, they come to me and they say, Tom, I really can't afford a good university. And I say to them that there's no such thing as not being able to afford a good university, because if you can afford the most affordable university, you're still going to be able to get a fantastic education. The recognition in these countries, in some cases, Georgia has better recognition than some places that are 3 or 4 times the price of it. It really is just down to whereabouts you want to be, the geographical location. If you're very open-minded and you're comfortable going somewhere, then we can always work within the budget as long as you can meet the minimum prices that you can see here. Living costs as well, you can see they tend to be equatable to the level of economy with the tuition fees. Sometimes there's fluctuations. For example, Italy, that one's a bit of an anomaly because they actually have funded education there, even for international students. So all the costs are very low for the public schools. But with the others, they all follow this similar trend. As the level of economy goes up, so do the tuition fees. But yes, lots of varieties, lots of opportunities. Again, whatever you have, we'll do our best to work with you and to find the right fit. So next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the admission requirements themselves. Now, I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to the admissions, so I'm going to invite someone that is, and that is my fantastic colleague, Daniela, and she's going to tell you a little bit about how everything goes. Daniela, over to you.
Thank you, Tom. Hello, everyone. I am Daniela, and I am thrilled to be representing Medlink Students Admissions team. Today embarks the beginning of an exciting journey for you, and I am eager to share what are the exciting opportunities that our medical universities have in store. Now, let's talk about what you need to get started. The key requirement is a high school diploma or the equivalent of the document in the high school that you graduated from. European universities are famous with their academic excellence, and as such, they normally require their candidates to have a strong background in the basic science, such as biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics. If you don't have these, don't worry, because there are enough schools that will accept you even without them, just because they like to give equal opportunity to everyone. If English is not your first language, then the university might require from you to have an English proficiency certificate. We'll make sure to advise you before that so we can find the perfect match for you. Remember, you're not going on this journey alone. Our dedicated admissions team here at Medlink Students will make sure to support you throughout the whole process. From providing study materials to preparing you for the entrance exam, we've got you covered. Now, the entrance exam can include multiple choice questions, open questions, or the combination between both. If the university has an interview as part of their application process, our team will make sure to give you the tools and the confidence so you can impress everyone at the interview. That's not all. Our team will also assist you with legalizing, translating, and notarizing your documents, so we are sure you have a smooth application process and that you receive the acceptance letter for the university of your choice. What sets us apart here at Medlink Students is that we are in constant communication with the universities. So anytime you want to reach out to us, this is how we are sure we'll be able to give you an update. Our team understands that this is a significant step for you, and we are committed to assist each and one of you in achieving your dream. Remember, your success is our success. Back to you, Tom.
Fantastic, Daniela. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, the admissions, you can see, especially at this time of year, how hard Daniela and her teams and all the different admissions departments are working to get all of these applications through. It's a lot of work, but we do make it as easy as we possibly can for you. As I said, at Medlink Students, we have the most senior and experienced admissions teams in Europe. We're so proud of them and so happy that we get to work with a team that's so competent and so good at doing what they do to solve any issues for the student and to make sure they have the best possible chance for academic success. Okay, so let's look at a few of the top picked universities from last year. These are all following similar trends this year. Of course, we'll have the numbers in a couple of months' time after the September and October intakes, but currently it is looking like Georgia is going to be the most popular one. Of course, schools like Petre Shatadze, Tbilisi Medical Academy, the European University of Tbilisi, fantastic schools, incredibly supportive, very affordable, and of course no entrance exam, which makes them very popular, especially for all the A-level and other high school students who have just been doing all these exams. The last thing you want to do is sit another one. So with Georgia, you don't have to worry. They're looking at your grades and they're looking at the interviews. Then of course you've got somewhere like Serbia, which is getting really popular again this year. Latvia, Riga Stradins, fantastic university. Bulgaria, of course, this is an old favorite. Bulgaria was one of the first countries to start doing these types of programs, and as a result of that, they're incredibly popular. Also pretty competitive this year. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up, Bulgaria is very, very tough this year. Hungary, of course, yeah, we had Semmelweis. They closed their application a while ago, as well as Charles. For those of you still looking for this September, by the way, you can still apply to schools, but you need to get started as quickly as possible. We'll talk a little bit more about that after we've gone over some more of the schools. And Poland, of course, Poland is a fantastic opportunity for anyone that wants EU recognition or to go back to somewhere like the UK afterwards. It's a great choice. They've got some amazing schools like Bialystok, incredibly supportive and great education. Now, we're going to dive into these opportunities in a little bit more detail now. Of course, we're going to start off with one of the most popular schools, which is Petroshetadze Tbilisi Medical Academy. We can call it TMA for short. Now, TMA is located in Tbilisi, the capital city of Georgia. Fun fact, that is currently one of the safest capital cities in the world if you look at the crime statistics internationally. They offer just medicine. They're a medicine-focused university. They have no entrance exam. As I mentioned, it's just an interview. Tuition fees are, as you can see, around 6,000 if we're looking in pounds for my UK students, around £6,000, or for the US students, $7,000 per year. Cost of living is around 600. Sometimes it can go a bit above or a bit below that. It really depends on you as an individual. Accommodation. So they do have some amazing partnerships with some hostels where they have exclusive accommodation just for their students. So again, for students from the UK, for example, very similar to halls, very safe, very secure, very social accommodation where you can have your own private ensuite room, but you have other common facilities like kitchens and common areas. Next intake is in October, this October, and they do still have spaces available. So for those of you looking at this for this October, you are very lucky to have this opportunity. And we're going to go into a little bit more detail, but it's not going to be myself. I'm actually going to pass over now to one of the senior representatives of the university, Professor Ia. Professor Ia, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here, but I can't put my video. Please help me to put the video. I can't show myself, but I can hear you.
Okay. Do you see the...
I think we can start
yeah.
now. Yes.
Looks like we're getting somewhere. Perfect. We can see you.
I'm here.
Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, I'd like to say that I'm thrilled and honored to be together with you today. So I would like to represent myself. So my name is Ia Valiani. I'm Vice Rector for International Cooperation at Tbilisi Medical Academy, Georgia. So you probably have heard about Georgia, majority of you at least. So Georgia is like a gem located between Europe and Asia. And for the last 10, 15 years, it became a real hub of medical education. And Petroshetadze Tbilisi Medical Academy was the first private school which has opened the doors for international students. So we're very proud to represent this university and invite you to study there because for many reasons. First of all, it's really genuine student-oriented approach. We have all the facilities there for you to give all the capacity to show up and increase your talents. We have individual feedback-based approach to teach every single student. We have early clinical exposure and interactions with patients. We have innovative methods of learning, like case-based learning, team-based learning, simulated patients. We have innovative approaches of the assessment, like GOTS. They're very popular in TME. This is growth-oriented tests. We have implemented OSCE, OSPE exams portfolio. So we were the first who have started like virtual OSCE implementation for graduation OSCE. And we are very active internationally. We are leading several Erasmus projects. So I'm the coordinator of two big Erasmus capacity building projects. And we are very active in the terms of exchanges. Now we're tomorrow already, around 30 students will depart to Turkey for summer internship. We are having cooperation with Poland universities, with Lietuva universities, Klaipėda, Erzurum, Rize, Italy, Spain. So we are organizing the exchanges in the frames of Erasmus or bilateral exchanges. What will be the other benefits which we can provide and offer to our international students? This will be scholarship. So this is very good promotion for and encouragement for you to join TMA, because in case you'll be studying very well and you'll be having the high GPAs, you can have like $1,000 discount per semester. It means if you're absolutely brilliant student and you're active internationally, you're active in social affairs, in this case, you can get like around $2,000 discount per education. I will not talk too much because Tom have already gave a very good introduction of our university. I just want to remind you the words of the famous Chinese philosopher Lodz, who is telling that every journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So I hope that this webinar can be considered like first step to your great success. We'll be very happy to welcome you at TMA. I know that we have TMA students who will be later speaking after me. So I wish you good luck and welcome to Georgia. Welcome to TMA. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
Thank you so much for that, Professor Iya. I have a question. Where do I sign up for the university? I'm ready.
Okay, why not? Yeah, Daniela knows very well the road, so she can.
Yes, I know who to contact. I'll be in touch. Thank you. Thank you so much
Always
for
welcome.
sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to add one more thing. We are having students from 35 countries worldwide, of course, including UK. We have many students thanks to Medlink, and for the last couple of years, the numbers are increasing incredibly. We have students from USA, from Canada, from New Zealand, from Australia, from all European countries, of course, many from Oriental countries. We have many students from Gulf countries, India, Turkey, and such kind of countries. So 35 countries worldwide. So this is a very international school, really very international school, where you'll be finding all the possibilities to develop the skills you would like to, of course, to become great doctors. So welcome again.
Thank you. That's just a testament to the quality of education that you guys provide over there. The fact that you have students from all of these big countries from all around the world that come to choose and study at TMA. It's a fantastic opportunity. So yeah, thank you again so much for sharing everything.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. One of the things that we love with regards to TMA is the happy students. Of course, at Medlink students, we've done our job correctly. If we have a student come back to us and they're saying, we're so happy, we've settled in so well, everything's great, I'm so excited to become a doctor, that's just what we want to be able to hear. This is why we love working with schools like TMA, because they make so many happy students that have an amazing experience and go on to become very successful doctors. Now, we're going to be able to speak to one of the slightly newer students now, Joseph, who's in his second semester. He's going to tell us a little bit about his experience at the school. Joseph, are you with us?
Yes, I am here. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Joseph. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a bit about your experience and how it's been for you?
So first and foremost, I just want to say a huge thank you to Medlink for the opportunity to share my experience. I've been here for 10 months so far, and my experience has been good. Yes, it's been a lot of highs, some lows, but we managed, to kind of overcome them, and it's been good to be fair. I can't really complain at the moment. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And can you tell us how the year's been? How has the education been? What's it been like? Can you give us a bit of a breakdown?
So, in terms of TMA, the education is really good. Like, say for example, you're in lessons and you do have questions, and the professor doesn't know your question, they'll always come back to you and be like, "Oh, Joseph, I found the answer to your question," which is great. Sometimes it just gives you extra information. It gives you like extra knowledge, and for them to go the extra mile, it is massive. And I'd say in terms of TMA, they really do push you to kind of be on top of your game, to always revise, to always be sharp, which only helps each and every person in the long run. At first it might be daunting, but as time progresses, as you get advice from your classmates, everything becomes easier. So in terms of TMA, in terms of the education, I do like it. Like, the teachers are great, they're very kind, they're very respectful, and yeah, you learn each and every day, so it's great.
I would hope you'd be learning every day. But it's good to know that the teachers are supporting you. That's
That is true.
such an important thing to have when you're going to any university. And a lot of schools, they don't have a lot of support. They leave you up to your own devices. But as I said, that's one of the reasons we're very comfortable if we ever have a student that's going there because we know they're going to be looked after and they're going to have every chance of success. And have you had any kind of practical experiences or anything like that so far?
So, in my second semester, I've had some clinical experiences. So for IPC, so it's integral professional competency. So each and every semester, we are learning how to conduct ourselves as doctors, and we have been going to the clinics. We've had interaction with doctors from Tbilisi, not just TMA, which is great. We've learned from their perspectives, and yeah, I've had one general surgery meeting with my classmates, which was very interesting. So yeah, yeah, I've had some experience, not too much, but a little bit. So it's been great.
Yeah, of course. In your first year, you're not going to get much, but it's good that they let you get the lab coats on and get the experience in early. That's a fantastic thing to be able to do. And let's talk a bit more about kind of the general experience in Tbilisi, in the capital city of Georgia. As an international student, how comfortable do you feel living there?
I am comfortable, to be fair. The city is very vibrant, so there are a lot of like students from all over different universities. So from, for example, EU, and we do connect. Like say for example, you're from the same country, you're always connecting, and everyone's friendly, especially the younger generation. They speak great English. If you're ever lost or ever confused, they do help you out. And I'd say they're very respectful, and obviously not every country is not perfect per se, but as long as there's always that respect and there's always you surround yourself with great people, like every experience I have, I do tell my friends or my parents back home, oh yeah, this is the experience, and they do give me advice, and I just shrug it off. I've come for one goal, and that's to become a medical doctor. So I think I can just keep on going and keep on pushing, to be fair.
Good. Yeah, I've always said one of the most important things is to make sure you're in a good international community because you can be anywhere in the world and feel uncomfortable, regardless of how nice that place may seem. Because, like you said, nowhere's perfect. But if you've got a community of hundreds of like-minded students from your background, from other people's backgrounds, from all around the world, you all have that same common goal and you support each other and look out for each other, then it's a great environment.
That is true. That is very true.
Great. Now, if you were to give yourself one bit of advice last year before you went and studied, what bit of advice would you give yourself?
That is a great question. Um, my first piece of advice would just be embrace the journey, to embrace it, to kind of enjoy it. There's always going to be ups and downs, but to always know the main goal, the main purpose of why you're here or why you're doing it in the first place. And another thing would say, not to put too much pressure on myself. Yes, sometimes when you come from a different country, you do want to exceed. You do want to put a lot of pressure and be like, oh yeah, I want to be better. But in terms of as long as you're thriving, as long as you're passing your exams, that's all that matters. So I think those are the two key pieces of advice I'd give myself if I was in this position, the same position again. Yeah.
You've just given some invaluable advice to hundreds of aspiring doctors and dentists. So thank you. That was perfect. And yes, you're absolutely right with giving yourself too much pressure. I think that's a doctor's curse in general. It is pressuring yourself too much to try and achieve greatness. But remember that what you're doing is achieving greatness.
It's
As
true.
long as you're there and you're learning to save people's lives, you're achieving a great thing. So Joseph, thank you so much for joining us. If you're still around in a little while, we are having a Q&A, so just let our team know if you're still going to be here and we can fire some questions over to
And
you.
Tom, can I just add one more thing as well?
Go for it, of course.
And I would say about the language, especially at TMA, like the past 10 months, I have learned Georgian. And what's great is, especially at my university, like all the Georgian students, they really engage with me and the teachers as well. When I say hello, You know, I say Kamajoba, they're so respectful. They're like, oh wow, like it's like, especially for me where I do speak a few languages, it kind of pushes you to be like, oh yeah, I want to learn more, you know, to be in an environment where the students are speaking to you. They're like, oh, if I ever need like a word, I'll be like to my Georgian friends, oh, what's this word? They're like, oh, Joseph, this is that. And it is honestly a great environment in terms of if you want to learn, and they make me enjoy it, especially my Georgian teacher. She is great. And I really do enjoy the language. It is difficult at first. Once you know, start practicing by yourself, pick up a few things for the train when you're out, it becomes much more easier. And that's with every language to be fair. So I would say in terms of TMA, the family, the teachers, they really talk to you in Georgian. They'll be like, Kamajopa, Rogokat, you know, Kamamajos, you know. So just a few words, you know, I've learned here and there. But it's been truly an environment where, you know, they push you to learn the language. And I really enjoy it. And who knows, maybe in 6 years I might be fluent. Who knows? Come back to me. Come back to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Joseph. And yeah, I hope we can hear from you again soon. Thank you. And I think that's a really good point that Joseph brought up there with regards to the language, and that is that you don't have to become fluent in the language to study somewhere like Georgia, but they will encourage you to learn it if you want to. And of course, you're going to be living there for many years. So if you feel like I do want to learn a bit of it, it's good fun saying hi to people. The people react really well to it. Obviously, there are some countries, I won't name any examples, but some famous countries in Western Europe that we know that they may not be so favorable about you trying to speak their language. They just want you to speak in English. But somewhere like Georgia, you go and say hello to someone in their own language and it will make their day. And it's so easy to learn basic few words and phrases. They do have classes built into all of these schools in Europe that we work with, not just in Georgia, but across Europe. You have local language lessons just to learn the basics. Now, the good thing here is the balance between it. There's not too much on the language requirement, so you're not going to have to be too concerned about becoming fluent in the language. There are places that have courses like that in other parts of the world, and it's very difficult for people to handle. So fortunately, with the majority of the schools we work with, fluency is not a requirement. You just have to learn a little bit of the language, and you get helped and supported with it, and it only helps you, especially when it comes to the clinical experiences as well. Okay, wow, TMA, what an amazing experience we've just been able to have going through that university. I hope you guys have learned a lot from it. We've got many more universities to come, but we definitely kicked things off with a fantastic opportunity. And the next one we're going to talk about is our second option from Georgia for this evening, which is the European University in Tbilisi. So again, this one's in the capital city as well. As Joseph said before, students from the European University and from TMA are often mingling and socializing, which is fantastic. You're just building that community up even more. Difference with this one is they do medicine and dentistry. They have a fantastic dental course, which also covers all of the clinical hour requirements, or has the option to cover all of the clinical hour requirements for UK dental students, which is a fantastic opportunity in Georgia that not many of the schools have. So big thing to bear in mind for those of you dental students that are looking to go and study dentistry abroad, good option to listen into. Entrance exam, again, no, just an interview. It's very straightforward. We help you with the whole process. The main thing they're looking at here is actually your application. And that's something that we build ourselves at Medlink students. So you don't have to worry about it. As long as you've got the educational requirements, which we'll obviously check through for you first, then Medlink students will get you through the door, no problem. Cost of living is, again, yeah, around 600, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less, depends on you and what your spending is like. Accommodation, again, really lucky with this university for yourselves. They do have university dormitories, which are fantastic. They also have private apartments available if you want something more independent. Again, our Medlink students on-ground support team will help you to source an apartment, and they'll support you with that aspect of things if that's something you're looking for. Next intake is September. There are final spaces available. So for those of you looking to do it, get a move on. There's not much time left now. You've really got to get started on it to ensure that we're going to be able to get your application through in time. But luckily, the university does have some spaces available for us. Now, I'm going to bring in another expert here. It's going to be a student. The student is called Mia, and Mia is in her second year of medicine. Mia, are you with us?
Hi, Tom. Yes, I'm here with you.
Hi, Mia. We've been lucky enough to have you on a few webinars now, haven't we? We've really been following your journey.
Yes, it's really been wonderful seeing the support from Medlink from when I got here to still now, third semester, as you said, starting second year. It's been wonderful.
Tell us about second year. What's it been like second year at the European University in Tbilisi?
So, no, of course, it's tough, as you would expect from medicine. The workload is insane, but having your teachers supporting you, having your fellow students supporting you, helping you out with anything, it's wonderful. And something I was concerned about when I first started, first coming to Georgia was no, South Africa, am I going to be able to meet people from my own country? And surprisingly, there are so many students from all over, tons from South Africa, from India, Pakistan, UK, some transfer students from Ukraine as well. So it's a big family that you're coming into.
Absolutely, and this is one of the things we really like about having students going over to Georgia, is we know they're joining such a strong community. Can you tell us a bit more about kind of the social side of Tbilisi? And are there any kind of clubs, activities? Is it a nice place to live as a student? What can you get up to?
So, in general, the first thing I would love to say is how safe it is in Georgia. Like, never once have I felt in danger walking in the streets late at night, maybe. And then the social aspects, our university actually offers a lot of clubs that you can join. So there are like singing clubs, dancing, rock climbing, or like hiking, art clubs, volleyball, soccer, that type of thing. So if you're interested in any of that, it's really wonderful to be a part of it.
Okay, great. And can you tell us a bit about what's the accommodation like for you there? Are you in university accommodation or private?
So my first year, I was in the dormitory of the university, and it was really wonderful. I mean, you feel less scared coming into a place where everyone is going to the same university as you. You don't have to worry about, oh, what bus do I need to take? How do I get to university? Uh, Even stuff like which are good professors to have, anything like that. You can ask your next door neighbor even. And the dormitory has added some new stuff recently that I'm very jealous about at the moment. Stuff like they have a basement with games, like the whole social area, even some gym equipment. So that's very nice.
Fantastic. It seems like you left at the wrong time.
No, definitely I did, yes.
And what's the transportation like in Georgia? Obviously, it can seem quite daunting for new students going to a new country. You mentioned something then about the buses. What's it been like for you?
Well, of course, it was very daunting when I first started, but thanks to technology today, we can just use Google Maps and it tells you which bus number to take to get where you want to. So it's really not that hard. And the buses are really good, very cheap to use public transport. So that's very nice.
Fantastic. And in regards to the university itself, of course, the European University is one of the most popular universities we work with. Can you tell us kind of what makes the school special for you?
For me, it's how kind our teachers are. Like all of them are young, so they've gone through what we're going through not too long ago. So they can kind of resonate with you and know how to help you out, know how to connect with you on a different level. So that's very nice.
Great. And sorry, I know I'm bombarding you with questions, but because you've done a few of these now, so I know you can take a few extra questions.
No, of course.
Can you tell us a little bit about what's the structure like in terms of the lessons, the lectures, the practicals? What can the students expect coming to the university?
So for classes like anatomy, physiology, those basic classes, you have per week 1 hour of lecture, where you learn a new topic, and then you have, depending on the subject, either 1 or 2 hours of practical classes per week for that subject, where you can discuss this topic with your lecturers if you're unsure about anything, if you want them to explain it again. And then you also do something called an oral survey, where you explain the topic to them so they can make sure you understand what the topic is about.
Okay, fantastic. So they're always keeping track, and if you're struggling a little bit, what do you do?
It's as simple as going and asking them for help. They're always willing to help you. Most of the time they see you are struggling and you don't even have to ask for help. They will instantly provide help for you, ask you, okay, do you need extra resources to study? Do you need some more explaining to do? They're very, very helpful.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Obviously, that's again a big worry for a lot of students. So, last thing I want to ask is, obviously we've been over a lot of positive things. What would you say is one thing you struggled with at first that you were able to overcome?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I was struggling with the language first, of course. It's mostly older generation that they don't really speak a lot of English around, like going to a bakery or even the supermarket. But when in doubt, you use Google Translate. Another thing that I struggled with is the amount of work that you're given. I mean, you're dealing, like in the first semester, you're dealing with 11, 12 subjects, which you're learning a new topic for each one of those 12 subjects each week. So it's a lot of work, but you get used to it, you manage your time well, and then it's no worry.
Fantastic. You've just answered a question that I just thought is probably in the minds of a lot of students right now, which is thinking, if it's easier to get into these courses abroad, maybe the courses themselves aren't as tough as the courses in their own countries. But of course, that's not the case, is it? It's very, very difficult to study abroad, just the same as it is in your own country. Because at the end of the day, if you want an internationally recognized medical degree or dental degree, you've got to work pretty hard for it. Is there anything else you wanted to add for those watching, those thinking about going to study abroad?
Well, something I just want to add is, don't be scared of taking this leap. This is your future that you're working towards. So sometimes you have to take yourself out of your comfort zone, but as well, you shouldn't forget to have some fun while studying, participate in some club activities at the university or something, because this really is an amazing journey and you have to make the most out of it.
Fantastic. Mia, thank you so much for your great insight, invaluable again. We really appreciate you coming back time and time again. And for us, it's a dream come true being able to see how much of a good experience you're having, considering you were thinking about it before, like many other students, you were really worried about going over to Georgia. Was it going to be the right fit for you? And seeing how well you've grown into it and matured as a person, you're going to be a fantastic doctor. And thank you for joining again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, so that's the European University in Tbilisi. A great bit of insight for that school. Again, another fantastic opportunity in currently what is the most popular country that we're working with, Georgia. It's an amazing place to go. There's a reason why so many people are going, and we're happy to help you see if it's the right option for you. So again, feel free to book in an appointment with us. They're absolutely free of charge, and we can discuss it. Not everyone qualifies for Georgia, of course, like any medical school, they have their requirements. So do check with us before, have a call with us, and we'll be able to talk about it and see if it's the right fit for you. Okay, moving on, let's talk about an old favorite, Bulgaria. Bulgaria has a few distinct universities to choose from, one of which is Trakia Medical University. Now, one of the big benefits to studying at Trakia University is that in recent years, their acceptance rate has been slightly higher than some of their counterparts in Bulgaria, like Sofia Medical University, Plovdiv Medical University. If you look at the statistics for some of these big schools, their acceptance rates have actually been lower in some cases than like the UK, for example, for international students. They're incredibly difficult to get into, and it's a testament to the country. Bulgaria as a place has done fantastic for international medicine. They were doing it long before a lot of other places. And although places like Georgia now are on a similar popularity, it wasn't always the case. So Bulgaria still attracts thousands and thousands of medical school admissions every single year, and it's only going up. So here with Trakia, you can see they do medicine and veterinary medicine as well. So good variety. They do have an entrance exam. It's in biology and chemistry, but don't worry too much. We do help you to prepare for that. Tuition fees, depending on the course, around 7,000 to 7,500 euros per year. So a little bit more than Georgia. Cost of living at Trakia. So it's actually in a city called Stara Zagora in Bulgaria, which is a slightly smaller city than some of the others. But it's very safe and it's very affordable. So cost of living is great there. The accommodation, they do have university dormitories. What we haven't added there actually is we can also help you find private apartments. And in fact, most international students tend to go for private apartments in Stara Zagora over the university dormitories, because the dormitories are mostly local Bulgarian students. And there are parts of the city of Stara Zagora which are just filled with international students. So it's almost like a dormitory, a community there. Next intake is this September. We can still get applications in, but please do let us know as soon as possible, because Bulgaria have an incredibly difficult application process. And luckily, we have an expert team in Bulgaria that work on the applications around the clock, 7 days a week, to make sure that all the legal and translation work is completed for you in time. So we can get it all done. Let's look a little bit more about the school. You can see in the background there, the image. It's quite a quiet place, Stara Zagora. Lots of nature, lots of countryside, but still enough to do as an international student. Moving on from here, I'm going to look a little bit about the laboratories. As you can see, they're up to a very high standard here. It's all the labs that you would expect to see anywhere in Europe or the UK. And again, a little bit more here, showing some of the practical rooms where you're going to be doing a lot of your early practical experience. And of course, clinicals. Clinical practice is huge in Bulgaria. They have a lot of very good clinical experience. They're going to be helping you, the professors, with the languages and everything else, but you have access to some of the best clinical facilities possible. So it's really going to help you to learn and grow as a person. And of course, you've got your lecture room. So you can see here two different styles. You've got your main lecture hall on the left-hand side. Then you've got one of your smaller study group classes on the right. And a couple more pictures for those there, again, of the smaller study rooms. This is where you're going to be doing most of your work, and this is where you're going to be, the people you're with here, where the people you're going to spend most of the time with in your study group. Okay, so in terms of the extracurriculars, there's a bunch of things. You can see the bottom photo here of some people that are lucky enough to go skiing. And I can tell you, as I've been lucky enough to ski in Bulgaria, that the ski resorts are fantastic. A little bit smaller than places like the Alps, but they're an amazing place to go. And they also have a bunch of different sports and activities available. You can see here some of the sporting teams. Again, some more of the skiing. That's a resort that's very close to Stara Zagora, actually, about 2 hours away, called Pamporovo. If any of you wanted to look that up, it's a fantastic location, lots of fun. The students really love to go there and enjoy themselves over the winter months when they've got time, of course, to have a break from their studies. And yeah, again, loads of nature, loads of amazing cultural monuments for you to go and explore and discover. You can't get enough of that in Bulgaria. It's a fantastic country, very similar to Georgia, actually. Georgia is also filled with a lot of amazing culture and history, and that's another thing the students love to take advantage of, being able to go and explore and witness and see all of these amazing cultural and historical sites. So yeah, that's Trakia University. Why study? They are accredited programs. They're internationally recognized. Many doctors working in the UK and around the world. They do have a lot of up-to-date rooms and labs available. And of course, all the advice, international programs, everything you would expect from a top-tier European university. We were hoping to get some of our students to talk a little bit more about the school today, but they're either incredibly busy doing some retake exams at this time of year, or they've gone back home and they're spending some quality time with their families. So it's yeah, very busy time for them regardless. So moving on from Bulgaria, we're now going to talk about Poland. Poland, again, very similar to Bulgaria and Georgia in terms of the fact that they are incredibly popular for international students, and they've been doing English taught programs for a very long time. Over here you can see the beautiful campus of Bialystok Medical University. We've been partnered with Bialystok now for many years, and for good reason. They're a fantastic school, they're very supportive, and they offer an amazing 6-year medical program, English taught. Now, of course, the tuition fees can be a little bit steeper than the other places. You are looking here 14,000 euros a year. Cost of living, as I mentioned before, when the tuition goes up, it's usually because the level of economy is up, so the cost of living is a little bit more as well. Again, option of private apartment or university dormitories, and the Medlink students on-ground support team will help you to sort all of that out, so nothing to worry about there. And the next intake is available again for this October. So let's dive into this university a little bit. You can see here some more pictures of the campus, and some of the students, the libraries and the facilities there are fantastic. It's really an amazing atmosphere in order to study medicine and become a doctor. As you can see, even though it's a very old looking campus, they have very modern facilities, fantastic facilities available, state-of-the-art equipment, everything you need to become a very competent doctor. Again, they've got these great lecture halls and facilities. They're all really easy to access. They have a few different buildings throughout the city as well, so things can be done around, but it's not that big of a city in Bialystok. I would say it's a medium-sized city. It's not like a capital. It's not as small as the one in Bulgaria. It's sort of medium size. But yeah, some great facilities. Here you can see some more of the lecture halls and the facilities that they have with the university. And of course, the clinical experience is vast. All the schools in Poland do a great deal of clinical practice, enabling you to become a fantastic doctor. Simulation rooms, yeah, this is a really important one that you would see from the Bulgarian and the Georgian schools as well. The simulation rooms are vital for you to get all the clinical skills training that you need before you go to work on real patients, as you can see here. And there's a few, yeah, you can see the simulation rooms, and they often do different drills just to help you prepare to make sure that when you are dealing with real patients, of course, it can literally be life and death sometimes, and you need to know what you're doing in those clinical years. Even though you're supervised, you need to have a good amount of training. So this is something you will get a lot from these schools that we work with abroad. All right, so the extracurriculars. Oh, you can see them having a lot of fun there, enjoying some of the karaoke, the club atmosphere, which they have to offer at Bialystok. The running clubs, of course, all the different sporting clubs. Also a lot of research projects, as you can see here. Almost everything. I mean, these schools are fantastic now with their international programs. They weren't like this, a while back, ages ago now. Many years ago, they didn't have this many things set up, and students that were coming from places like the UK, they had to sometimes sacrifice a bit on the social side. But that's not the case anymore. If you go abroad, you're going to have just as much fun as you would have somewhere like the UK with all the societies. It's just more often than not, you'll do it in nicer weather. You won't have to deal with all the rain that you get in the UK, because the weather in places like Poland and Bulgaria and Georgia is fantastic. Really nice climate. And yeah, so many different events, so many different things to see. Oh, you can see actually a picture of the winter there with some snow. That's a rare sight to see, but yeah, looks really nice as a campus. Of course, it's recognized by the World Health Organization. It's got all the recognition that it needs internationally. Amazing amount of partnerships with different universities, so loads of opportunities for you to go to other places throughout your studies as well. And they really do everything they can to give you the best possible outlook as a doctor. Okay, so we've been over Georgia, we've been over Bulgaria, we've talked a little bit about Poland. Now let's go over to Bosnia. And here you can see the University of East Sarajevo. Now this is in a really peaceful place known as Foča. They do medicine and dentistry. They do have an entrance exam in biology and chemistry Tuition fees here are really affordable, so you can get a really high level of education for a very, very low cost. So for those of you looking to go over this, it's a fantastic opportunity for you to get a top level education, but not have to pay tens of thousands of pounds in order to do it. Cost of living around €500 per month. Accommodation, again, you have the luxury of choice. You can have the more social accommodation of the dormitories, or you can also have the private apartments. And the next intake again is for this October. So for those of you that are bored of hearing my voice, I'm actually going to bring in an expert representative for the University of East Sarajevo. I'm delighted to invite Miss Minya along to speak a little bit about the university. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Minya Chosovic, and I'm the coordinator for the study programs in English language at the Faculty of Medicine, Foča University of East Sarajevo. It is a pleasure to introduce our faculty and the unique opportunities available through our English language programs. Choosing a place of study is one of the most significant decisions you'll make. And the Faculty of Medicine of Foča, with its degree and educational experience, is not just investments in your future that will open door to new opportunities, it will also prepare you for a world beyond the classroom. It is founded in 1993, and through 31 years, it has grown into very recognized and accepted institution, as well as in Bosnia, as well as internationally. 4 years ago, we started with English language programs. First, we started with the medicine and English program. And believe it or not, we started with just 4 students from Bosnia and from region. Now, 4 years after that, we have more than 350 students from 21 countries from 4 continents. In the academic year 23-24, we started with dentistry in English program as well. So now we offer 2 integrated 6 years study programs in medicine and dentistry for foreign students. The curriculum focuses on both practical knowledge and theoretical knowledge and practical skills, ensuring that students are well prepared to tackle the challenges of the medical profession. Let's say, why study with us? It's better maybe to ask our partners, Medlink students, but I would say a few sentences. So our faculty features experienced professors with around 240 staff members. Our teaching approach ensures a robust educational experience. Our English language programs are designed to accommodate students from diverse backgrounds, creating a rich multicultural learning environment. We emphasize research and innovation, with our Center for Biomedical Research being a key component for our academic structure. This center, equipped with the latest technology, provides opportunities for all the students to engage in significant research projects from the start. Our faculty boasts modern facilities, including 3 well-equipped amphitheaters, specialized laboratories, and a clinical skills laboratory. These resources enhance the learning experience and provide practical training as well. Also, we offer support to our international students when they come, and to accommodate and to our cultural integration and smooth transition. The Faculty of Medicine of Foča is situated in a small town, picturesque small town, Foča, renowned for its natural beauty and rich cultural heritage. It is located on the 2 rivers, Drina and Čekotina, and it is close to the National Park Sutjeska. It offers a vibrant student life with all the amenities of a university center and the charm of a small town. Also, the Faculty of Medicine is dedicated to providing a high-quality education that not only meets the demands of today's medical field, but also prepares students for a successful international career. We are proud of our achievements and the opportunities we offer to students from around the world. So we invite you to come to join to our university, and for all other inquiries and questions, please contact our partners, Medlink students.
Minya, thank you so much for giving us such an amazing insight into your school. It is an incredible destination. We're delighted to be working with you and to have such happy students go and study there. We're actually going to speak again to a member of our on-ground support team there in Foča now, who's going to explain a little bit more about what it's like for the students in that location and that environment. Neda, are you with us now?
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. And I also want to thank Miss Minya for saying the important stuff and for representing us in the best possible way.
Thank you, Neda.
So what are you specifically interested in? So can you give me a few questions? Because Minya said most of the things.
Of course. Well, can you tell us a little bit about what's it going to be like for an international student when they arrive? What should they expect?
So when you arrive here, firstly, you're probably going to meet me. Then I will probably guide you around. What is important in Foča? I mean, what I personally consider as an important thing is to find people who have same goals as you. Try to find some good quality people, because your friends determine your future. So try to find your people, and also don't be afraid to meet locals. Locals are really friendly and kind and warm people. So try to meet some locals, get along with them, try to improve your social life, social skills. And also, what is really important if you are about to study dentistry, since I'm a dentistry student, we prefer working in smaller groups, which is really important, because teaching assistant then can pay attention to every single student, give you some advices which maybe will help you, not maybe, surely will help you through your studying, but later on also with working.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a bit about the dentistry and what it's like in East Sarajevo?
Well, we are pretty much well equipped. Equipment is really, really good. So when you first get into that practical part, for example, first 2 or 3 years, students are going to practice on each other. So if you have a friend who is in your group, you're going to practice on your friend, and your friend is going to practice on you. You're going to learn how to adjust the chair. Maybe it seems like something that's really easy, but trust me, it takes a bit of time to adjust the patient. Also, you're going to meet with the tools, with the drills, how to hold them. You're going to improve your manual skills. Also, your teaching assistant will really, really pay attention to the smallest details when it comes to manual skills. And for example, how to position your hand, how to sit, how to hold the drill, how to hold the mirror, and all other tips, which are really, really important if you want to be a good dentist one day.
Fantastic, thank you. And what's it like living in the town of Foča?
Well, this is a small place. You have some of the opportunities which maybe a larger city would offer to you, you maybe don't have, but it is enough if you want to focus on your studies. We have a lot of nature, hiking culture, rafting culture is really, really developed here. So if you're a bit of physically active person, this is going to be like a really good place for you. Also, if you like to go to the gym, we have a great gym here, which is really, really good equipped, which is also a kickbox club. So if you are into martial arts, this is a good place to study in.
Fantastic. So some places to blow off steam perhaps for some of the students then.
Yes, yes.
Great. And what advice would you give for the students that are thinking to come and study in East Sarajevo?
Well, my personal advice is to not be afraid of studying, because most of the students, when they enter a difficult faculty and difficult studies, they suffer mostly from the imposter syndrome. So please believe in yourself. Don't take yourself for granted. Believe in yourself. Surround yourself with supportive friends, with supportive people, with people who will help you one day throughout your studies. And that's pretty much it. Pay attention to who you are spending your time with, because that will probably determine your future. So find some ambitious friends and don't be afraid of asking for help, asking questions. Professors here are really, really friendly. They're going to help you with anything from the smaller details to bigger things. So don't be afraid of entering that era of your life.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us from both Ms. Minya and from yourself, Neda. Really appreciate it. We're really looking forward to having your support with the students when they come over shortly in September as well. Is there anything else that either of you wanted to add at the moment?
No, I think so that that Neda said a lot of things. So from the first line as a student, so I think that is enough. So we just invite you to come to see everything. And to
Fantastic.
experience, of course.
Great. Well, thank you both so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. I can see we've got questions flooding in, so if you are around later for the Q&A, do let our team know, and we'll be able to send you over some questions. Okay.
Right.
Great. Thank you so much to both of you. What an amazing opportunity at East Sarajevo. That would definitely be a favorite for me with all the outdoor activities. And Bosnia is obviously such a safe but also such a stunning country. It's a really, really beautiful place. And with such supportive and amazing staff that you have at the university, a very great experience for any international student. So thank you again. Really appreciate you joining.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on now to another university. So many different opportunities for you guys this evening. So this is the Medical University of Łódź. I know for those of you from the UK, you're thinking, what did he just say? Does he mean Lodz? But no, it's pronounced Łódź. In fact, I'm probably still not saying it perfect. My Polish is definitely not perfect, but this is the Medical University of Łódź. Located in the city of Łódź in Poland, they offer medicine, dentistry, and a pre-med course. Entrance exam they do have, and an interview, in fact. Tuition fees, again, it is Poland, so it is quite expensive compared to some of the others. Cost of living, as you can see there, is not too bad as an average. And the accommodation, again, you have the choice between apartments that Medlink students will help you to sort, or the university dormitories. Next intake is October. And lucky for you all, we have an amazing admissions team for Poland here at Medlink Students, so we will be able to help you to apply. Okay, so let's, who have we got for Łódź? Marwan, are you with us?
Hello, yes I am.
Hi,
Yes,
I'm going
I
to
am.
hand over to you because you know a lot more than me, having done 4 years at the medical university. Can you tell us a bit about your experience?
Okay, so first of all, can you all hear me? And can you see me clearly?
Yeah, can see you and hear you crystal clear.
Okay, perfect. So hi everyone, I'm Marwan Zaini. I'm from Lebanon, and currently I'm entering my 5th year of medical studies at the Medical University of Łódź. I've been in this university. It's my 5th year right now, and honestly, I can say so many great things about it. Like, most of my experience in the past 4 years, have been great. The university has taught me a lot. It has showed me a lot, and it really felt like family after coming through all these years. Talking about our faculties at the university, we have such advanced laboratories, and you have lots of hands-on experience, whether you are in the dental division or the MD division, because as you know, we have both faculties, 6MD and 5DMD. All of us get to have some hands-on experience in the laboratories we have. When it comes to practical teaching, the way I would say our classrooms are divided to is that we have small clinical groups that comprise of, let's say, 5 to 10 students per group. So everybody gets a chance to have a hands-on experience. Everyone gets to learn. And I feel like working in one of our laboratories and in person does teach you a lot, much more than lectures and seminars, which is what most universities usually provide. As you can see, we offer lots of methods of teaching. For example, in 6MD, we host lots of workshops where you get to experience some surgical equipment. You get to experience the real setting of a doctor or a dentist. Even in our DMD division, we have a huge phantom lab where students begin working on them starting second year and even third year. As you can see, here is our dental lab. This is one of our phantom labs where every student is given his own phantom, which of course has like normal human reflexes and lots of features which allow you to properly handle a patient's mouth, which really simulates a clinical zone as if you're working in a clinic on your own. Yes,
Can
this
you
picture
tell us?
also goes back to DMD.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, can you tell us a bit about the location and the city and what your experience has been like?
Okay, just give me 1 second because my laptop needs some charge.
No problem. We'll come back to you in a second, no problem. So yeah, you can see a few more of the pictures here of the simulation center for Łódź. They have some of the best facilities in Poland, really fantastic opportunities available. Marwan, are you back?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to leave it with you. As I said, you're the expert, so please tell us a bit about, or carry on from where you left off if you want to talk a bit about the education and then go on a bit about sort of what life is like there for an international student like yourself.
Okay, so perhaps I'll just go on with the pictures we have in the presentation, and then I'll share my experience as an international student coming to Poland. So back to our campus, I've brought up all of the labs we have and the faculties we have on campus. And a bit outside of the university life, we have lots of libraries around. We have the main library of Łódź. That's where most students come to study, to work on their assignments and projects. We have a huge sports faculty in our university, which is personally one of my favorite things. Our university actually has above 35 different sport clubs, like in our city, and they range from some everyday sports like basketball, football, tennis, the regular sports, and they even extend to some not very common sports like horse riding, rock climbing, canoeing, really some things that you might not find in every single university around. We have newly renovated our sports campus, so we have a new swimming pool, we have a new gym, a new auditorium, all of these which are really nice to be in. We host lots of activities throughout the year, and we have a tradition of like annual events. One of them, which is in the pictures over here, is the white coat ceremony. And the white coat ceremony is it's a milestone which us med students celebrate during our journey, and it's when you finish completing half of your medical school. So it's when you move on from your preclinical stage to your clinical stage. These are some photos from the white coat this year. It was a wonderful event. There was a musical performance, and it really feels nice to celebrate such a moment. Here are some more pictures from the white coat on top. And in the bottom, we have another event which we host annually, which is the cultural soiree. The cultural soiree is basically an international day event where different students from different countries around the university all come, we come together, we exchange our culture, we exchange food, music, presentations, and so much just so that we can learn about one another. And we can all find our common interests and get to know and understand each other. So we mentioned the sports center, some events like the white coat ceremony and the cultural events. I would also like to bring some insight into our student scientific societies. Oh, And this picture here is our graduation ceremony last year. Also a huge event that everybody looks forward to at the end of the year. For our student scientific societies, we also focus on not just the entertainment side of, having fun and leisure, but also on the academic side. So our university on itself hosts so many international conferences every single year, and we have lots of student research clubs. As a matter of fact, our university also has above 30 to 40 different student scientific clubs covering multiple departments in medicine and DMD, offering lots of chances and opportunities for students to work on research at our uni.
Fantastic. Thank you. You've just given us such a huge insight into the school. And how are you getting on personally? Are you struggling with anything, or what's it like for you at the moment?
Okay, so personally for me, after I just finished my fourth year, that is currently that was my first year of years over here. In preclinical, we have lots of experience seeing patients, so I do feel like an actual doctor finally. After all these countless hours of studying pharmacology and histology and all of these theoretical subjects, we finally get to have some hands-on experience at the hospital. So if you would ask me what a typical day would look like, I would wake up at 8 a.m. I would go to a hospital, of course, surely a different department every single week, depending on the subject we're covering. And we would see patients every day. We'd actually go see patients with our doctors. We do some physical examinations. We'd run some basic tests, basically simulating what a day would look like as an actual doctor. And also, I've asked lots of my dental friends at our university. They also handle lots of patients at this stage. They handle treatments on their own. They do some things such as scaling, such as caries and root canal treatments. They even do huge things like tooth extractions. So I feel like coming to upper years at a university, you're really treated as a doctor, you're respected as a doctor, and you're expected to work as a doctor at our uni. But of course,
sorry, go on, carry on.
Yeah. But what I meant to say is that, of course, it does sound intimidating at first, but they do prepare us for this. So by the time you're at my year, you would know what you're doing, and you would feel confident doing it on your own.
Oh, of course, yeah, you have years and years to prepare, don't you, beforehand, before you get to that kind of a point. But what I was going to say there is it's amazing they give you all these experiences, because some of the medical and especially dental schools, actually, even somewhere like the UK, they won't give you the same level of experience with complex different things such as extractions, root canal treatments, that you will be able to get in places like Poland and Bulgaria and Georgia, for example. So and Bosnia as well, of course, that we mentioned. So it's a fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, yes, I agree. I feel like at our university, we really do get a good opportunity to experience the clinical setting compared to other universities in Europe.
And where are you looking to go and work afterwards? What's the plan for you?
Okay, so personally, I would love to stay here, but of course, there are some barriers that come at my expense, which is the language barrier, for example. Now, of course, being an English-speaking university, we do learn Polish during our first 2 years of studies, but that does not persist until we graduate. So I do speak Polish, just at a level to communicate with the patients. But if I would like to specialize here, I would be obliged to, of course, speak Polish fluently. Now, even though I have learned the language to some extent, I personally don't plan on staying here after my studies. I would love to travel elsewhere as well to continue my education. But I'm also thinking of staying within Europe. So I've considered Germany, of course, with learning the language. I've considered the UK. Now, I feel like even though you might ask me about my opinion, it's really a subjective question, because it depends on so many things like your lifestyle, where you're able to go. It also depends on which country is best for your specialty.
Of course, but people love to hear from you, and
Yeah.
hear your experience and kind of what you're thinking to do from a university like this. I guess the great thing is you've just answered the question, really. The amazing thing is you have options, don't you? You're not so limited into just going to one place or another. If you study at a university like UoES in Europe, you have so many different opportunities afterwards. Let's talk a little bit more about kind of the city and things. as an international student, how safe do you feel in Poland? Because a lot of people, they haven't traveled to Poland before. They don't know what it's like as a country. You know, they only know kind of what they've heard before from other people or on the news or something. So can you tell us about your experience personally?
Okay. If I would like to introduce Poland, like as a like in the beginning to some people who haven't really heard of it before, I would say Poland is really underrated. Not lots of people have heard of Poland before, including some members of my family. But really coming here, you would be surprised to find that there are so many great things to see. So many beautiful cities and lots of different terrains of nature, actually. Now coming to me, I've never experienced anything dangerous, I would say. I've never been approached in any dangerous way or unsafe way. I usually feel safe, more or less, throughout the city. Like I would go out and walk at night. Me and my friends would go out, at any time during the day, whether we're alone or with company. Uh, I usually feel safe walking around. Now, of course you'd have to know where to go because I feel like every single country has some spots that are less safe than others, which is why you should always know where you're going, have your research done, and of course, going as a group is always better than being alone. If that's your question.
Perfectly answered my question. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add for now? I know you're open to joining us for the Q&A shortly. Is there any other advice you want to give
Definitely.
at the moment?
Any other advice I'd like to give? I feel like one thing that people are usually worried of is moving into a new place and being worried about meeting new people and like fitting into the society. One thing I'd like to share is how I integrated into the university life and how easy I felt it was for me to join the uni and meet people and make friends. One thing we have at our university is actually like a mentorship program, which is where senior students can help first year students come in, explore the city, and know what's going on. And they can like one-to-one explain to them everything going on and like everything they need to know about the university. So every single new student we have at the university would have a mentor assigned to them who can help them make sure they know everything before they come. And I really think that it really affects your experience coming in as a new student.
Marwan, you're a credit to Łódź University. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insight for the school, and you've demonstrated so well all the benefits and the advantages. You're a perfect
Thank you.
example of why international students should study at the school. So thank
Thank
you,
you. Appreciate
thank
it.
you for sharing that. And I will try and get some questions over to you shortly
Yeah,
once
yeah,
we go to the Q&A. So thank you again.
definitely. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So before we jump into the Q&A, we're going to talk a little bit now about what you need to do if you actually want to apply to one of these medical schools, whether it's for this September, whether it's for next September, even the intakes in the middle of the year, such as January, March, sometimes December intakes, sometimes in May. Oh, we have so many across the over 100 schools now that we're lucky enough to work with around the world. So let's talk about what we do at Medlink students. The first step here, as you can see, is the free tailored advice. So you're going to be assigned an advisor. Some of you listening probably already have had this conversation with us. And remember that you can always contact us again as well. But initially, we try to find out about you and your circumstances and your preferences so that with our experience, we can help to suggest the most suitable schools for you, ones that you qualify for financially, as well as schools that will meet your academic requirements that you would qualify for, whether you want somewhere with an exam or an interview, big city, small city, close to your country, away from your country, whatever it is you're looking for, we're going to do our best to help you and assist you with that. And this is all completely free of charge. We're just here to help you to see if these options would be suitable and work for you. Now, the next step is, of course, the tricky part, and that comes to applying. Applying abroad is really tricky. As I said before, that's the reason why, or one of the big reasons why we exist as an organization is down to our amazing doctors that started the company over 12 years ago now to help the students apply abroad, completing all the legal work, all the translation work that's necessary. All of our teams, or most of them, are actually local to the countries that they're working in. They work day in, day out directly with the universities to ensure that everything is built up to the absolute top standard, giving you the best possible chance of getting into medical or dental school first time. So they're going to be covering all of the steps. Sometimes this can take months, these processes, and they'll be doing it all on your behalf. And while they're doing it, we provide you with state-of-the-art exam materials, syllabuses relevant to the university you're applying to, so you can prepare for the interviews, for the exams, anything else that's required. Things like personal statements as well, we're going to proofread those for you. We're going to make sure that you've got everything you need to have the best chance for success. So let's say you've just got accepted. What's next? Next, it's about going over there. So once we've helped you to go over there, helped you with things like your visa and given you instructions on locating there, when you arrive, we've got our Medlink students on-ground support team. These are the guys that are going to hold your hand. They're going to help you from the moment that you arrive in the country. They're going to pick you up from the airport. They're going to help you to settle in, including things like helping you with accommodation, organizing tours of the campus, of the city, helping you with public transport, bank accounts, SIM cards, doing social events with all the international students. The list goes on and on and on. We help you with so many different aspects to make sure that you feel comfortable, because going to medical or dental school is hard enough already. You shouldn't have to be worrying about the little things. So we're there investing in you to make sure that you can have the best possible start. And not only in the beginning, we don't just leave you to it, but we have ongoing support throughout your studies, both local and support over email and over the phone. Anything you need, you get in touch with us, and we will do our absolute best to help you and aid you throughout all your years of education. Let's say, for example, halfway through, you need to get a doctor's appointment and you're not sure how to get a doctor because you haven't been ill before while you've been abroad. I say this because I had someone call me recently with the same issue. And it's a similar thing. They need help, so we reach out, we get the right people in touch with them, and we help and support however we can. We've got the experts here, we've got the infrastructure, so we're happy to support you. And then, of course, the final step is once you've graduated, congratulations, you're now a doctor or a dentist. And we're going to help you post-graduation by supporting you with getting registered back in the UK or your home country, wherever you're looking to go. We'll give you all the guidance and advice and support that we can to make sure that your dreams become a reality. So do get in touch with us, and we will be more than happy to help you with the whole process from start to finish. As you can see here, we've got a bunch of really, really happy students that we've been lucky enough to hear from today, and we can't wait for you to join them. And hopefully a few of you listening this evening are going to be in this position in 12 months' time, speaking about your first year of medical school and the amazing experience you have. You're going to tell them that it all started from you watching a webinar, and now here you are. You took the leap of faith, you're there, you're having a great experience, and you can't wait to share it with the world. And this is the cycle that at Medlink students we get to enjoy every single year. Okay, so moving on from there, what have we got next? So here you can scan this code and you can actually book a free appointment with us right now. We have appointments available throughout the week, so you can book in here. You'll be assigned a personal advisor. As I said, it's all completely free of charge, and we'll just go through, find out as much as we can about you and help you as much as we possibly can. So on to the Q&A. I've got a few questions here. And again, these are some of the most popular questions that were asked. Let's have a little look. So, does the IB certificates accepted in universities, are they accepted without you having to do any external exams like the SAT? The SAT is obviously an American-based exam. In the UK, we have the UCAT. Australia, you have the GAMSAT. There are a bunch of these different tests, like in Italy you have the IMAT, and these are country-specific tests usually that you have to do to get into medical school. And luckily with a lot of these universities you don't have to have results for these tests. A lot of them have university-specific exams like Bulgaria, which are actually a little bit simpler compared to a lot of these tests. Or if you go for somewhere like Georgia, it's actually just interview-based. So you're not going to have to be concerned about the test at all. bear with me a second. So what are the basic requirements for most of the medical universities? So the basic requirements for most medical universities is that you have to have a completed high school certificate. Doesn't matter where you're from, what country you're from, they don't discriminate. They have a list of recognized qualifications from all countries. So that's what most of them are going to look for. However, there are some that will accept diplomas, some will accept bachelor's degrees, some will be accepting various different qualifications that will allow you to, sometimes even lower than high school, you'll be able to get in through certain channels if you can do a specific type of admission. But just get in touch with us, regardless of what qualifications you have. We'll see what you have and we'll recommend you schools that we know will be able to get you through to. So let's have a look. Oh, I've got a question for one of the students here, for a TMA student, Jasira. Jasira, are you with us?
Yes, here I am.
Hi, Jasira.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for joining us. I've got a quick question for you. The question is it safe for a female to study in Georgia?
Well, personally, as a female of color, I think it's an extremely safe place. I've never, I think another student from the European University mentioned that she's never felt unsafe walking in the street, even if it's late. And I share the same feeling. I've never felt threatened or anything of the sort. So I would say that it is pretty safe and reliable.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing your insight with us, obviously directly at
Thank
the
you.
school. I'll probably have another question for you in a moment because I know we didn't get to beforehand, so I'll be sure to shoot you another question over in just a second.
All right.
Marwan, we've actually had a couple of questions come through for you. One of them is regarding the Polish language. So you said that it came in the first 2 years. Is the Polish language a graded course or is it an extracurricular? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so the way we have it is that we have Polish courses for the first 2 years. That is actually part of the curriculum and it's part of our graded reports. So it is a graded course. We do have a final exam on it, and you are obliged to take it for the first 2 years of our program, so which is for the first 4 semesters. So you will learn it, you will have your weekly lessons, and you will definitely be prepared for it by the time the exam comes.
Fantastic. And can you tell us what your experience was like with those lessons personally?
Okay, to be honest, Polish isn't the easiest language to learn out there. It was quite difficult for me to learn it at first, mainly because of the different alphabet they use. Like they have lots of extra letters that they have in the alphabet. But after practicing it for a couple of years, I can say that I'm comfortable speaking the language right now. I can freely communicate with the patients, and I don't have much trouble using it with people at the hospital and outside in public. So I
Fantastic.
would say it's quite easy to learn if you just commit to it.
Great. It's all about the amount, isn't it? And it's the same in Poland as it is in all of the other universities we work with, especially in Central and Eastern Europe. So thank you so much for sharing your insight there. But yeah, it is wherever you go, you are going to have to learn some of the basics of the language, but they do support you a lot with it, and it's never too much of an effort to go through. So yeah, you shouldn't have anything to
Yeah,
worry.
they do. And the doctor is always like available to help, like during and even outside office hours. But like all you have to do is ask them, you know?
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so I've got another question here. If I study at a university in Europe, how will I be able to go back and practice in the UK? Will I go to Foundation Year 1? Okay, bit of a deep question, so I won't go into too much explanation here. We are happy to help on an appointment. But in general, once you finish a degree in Europe, Currently, you are able to go straight through if it's an EU degree into UK recognition, but that may be changing soon with a new exam coming in called the UK MLA. So anyone looking for UK registration, have a look at the UK MLA. We will be guiding and helping all graduates with that when the time comes. But it's just a competency test that you'll have to do before going into the foundation years. And at the moment, it depends where you come from afterwards in terms of whether you go into foundation year 1 or year 2. These are the 2 junior training years in the UK that you do as a junior doctor before you get your full registration. And these are years as a paid doctor. But again, it gets a little bit technical. So what I'd say is book in a call with us and we can go into a bit more detail about it. There's no bad option really, whether you go into F1 or F2, they both have amazing benefits. So give us a call and we'll go over in a little bit more detail. Okay, Arani, I've got a question here for you, and it's with regards to the entrance into WoES, because you're also studying at WoES as well, right?
Yes, that's correct. Can you see me? Okay.
Yeah, we can see you and hear you. Everything's perfect.
That's perfect. Yes, and your question is about getting to WoES?
About the entrance into the university. So of course they have a test. Can you tell us a little bit about what the entrance is like?
Yes, there's an entrance exam. It's conducted via Teams. So it's an online exam and there will be interviewers who's going to be asking you a few questions. You get to choose your subjects. So out of biology, chemistry, physics, math, you get to choose 2 subjects. And you will be answering some questions that they'll be asking you, and you get graded based off of your answers. And aside from those questions that you're asked, they also do like a little interview, just getting to know you, your education background, and something like your motivation to study medicine and small things like that. It is not a challenging exam, I would say, but it does require some basic knowledge from high school. So it does require some preparation ahead of time before you do attend the exam. And so that's something to keep in mind when applying. Just prepare ahead and you'll get a chance to apply for the date and you'll be all good to go. That's it. That's all about it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And do you want to share a little bit about what's your experience been like at WoES?
Yes, of course. WoES has been amazing. I did move to WoES 4 years ago, so I'm entering my 5th year now of studies. So it was a huge move from Canada to Poland, but it was a lot of adjustments to do at the beginning, but eventually I did get the hang of it. I made some amazing group of friends that are my family now, and there's a lot of extracurricular activities that we can take part of, like Marwan outlined some of them ahead of time, so that's good. And there is, in terms of accommodations, there are a lot of accommodations that are available, both from the school and there are private dormitories that you can choose as well. But for me personally, in terms of education and my life in WoES, it has been an amazing and very pleasant experience. The teachers are amazing. The clinical classes are amazing. You get a lot of hands-on practice. And one good thing about our clinical groups, they're small. So there's only around 10 students per group. So you get to do a lot of hands-on work. And there's another good thing that you can ask the teachers to shadow them after class, like privately on your own. So it'll be just you and the teacher, and then you're looking at patients. And that's something that's great because now you're having a one-on-one kind of lesson with the prof. And that's something I've done this year since I started my clinical years. And I got to do that with a few professors. And it was a very good opportunity to just learn on your own and get some more hands-on that you might not get to do during class due to the limited number of hours. And every student have to get to do it. But I love the university. So I definitely recommend it for someone who is looking into studying in Europe.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can tell you've had a great experience there, it seems. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And how safe does Poland feel as a country for you in general?
Poland is a very safe place, especially Łódź. It's a very quiet city. And one good thing is during the exam seasons, a lot of students go to the library to study because it is open 24 hours. So it's definitely an asset, because sometimes you do get distracted at home and you definitely want to have a change of environment. So you like studying at the library. So students go there to study and they stay really late. And we do have a security that'll be there 24/7. So that's a safe place. But if you were to leave the library, even at late hours, that's not an issue at all. There's night buses that's running throughout the night that you can take. There are cabs that you can take. But in general, even if you're just walking around, going grocery, doing late night runs for whatever reason, Poland is a very safe place. And there's nothing to be concerned about in terms of safety, both for both males and females. So that's not an issue.
Fantastic. Thank you so much again for sharing that insight with us for you personally. Obviously coming all the way from Canada, did you say?
Yeah, that's correct.
Quite the different environment. Fantastic. Well, we're glad you're having such a great experience. We can't wait to hear the rest of your journey. So we hope you join again and we can get more insight from you as well further down the line.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. A couple of other questions. So a few people have been asking, do all the public medical schools in Europe need admission exams? So when it comes to a school, it doesn't really matter if it's private or public, whether or not they have an entrance test. It's more down to the individual university, or sometimes their country actually dictates for all the schools if they have to have a test in place. Some countries mainly don't have tests. So for example, if you look at somewhere like Romania, most of their medical universities do not have an entrance exam. They're based purely on the application. However, this can't always work in your favor. If, for example, you're a student that has slightly lower grades, it's a much better idea for you to go somewhere that has an entrance exam, or somewhere that may have more flexibility with the criteria for grade requirements. Because sometimes, like with Romania, even though they don't have an exam, so people think it might be easier to get into, the issue is that they're very competitive, they're very limited on places, and so they're only taking students with really high grades. And so sometimes going somewhere without an exam, at first it can seem like you're getting a bit of a shortcut, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you can end up missing out on it a little bit. Okay, next question I've got here is again for Jasira. So,
Yes.
you were right there. Jasira, I know with, well, the question here is, when should someone apply if they're going for another intake? And we've had a few questions as well that are all about the different intakes. Obviously, we've talked a lot today about the September and the October intakes, which are still available with TMA and the European University. But TMA also offers intakes at other points in the year. I don't know did you join another intake or did you join in October?
Yes, I personally joined in the March batch,
March
so I didn't join in September or October. And there was actually another batch that started in April, after I had already entered. So obviously, the sooner you start the procedure, the faster you will get there, I guess. But I think it's since they do have several batches that enter at different times, it is an advantage, and you don't risk losing the entire year or a semester or anything like that.
So what was the experience like for you joining in the March intake? Because I know that's a bit smaller than the October intake.
Yes, personally, I really like it because since we entered in March, our summer holidays are longer than other batches, especially I think the October and the April batch. But apart from that, I don't think there's any advantage. We do the same thing, we follow the same program, and it's the same at the end of the day.
Yeah, a lot of people, they worry maybe they're missing out if they're joining later, but it is a completely different schedule that they follow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very smart how they're able to offer that flexibility there.
Yes, it is.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. And okay, this is one question that I've seen come up a lot. Haven't the deadlines for most of the schools finished now? Question mark. That is a very scary question, I know. Yes, a lot of schools, the deadlines have already passed for this September, of course. You know, we're a couple of days shy of being in August. Most of the schools start in September, October time. So for those of you looking for this September, now is your last chance. You do really have to go for it and give it your all now if you're going to want to go now. Of course, I know a lot of you are waiting for A-level results day, for example, and that's a big thing to consider. And a lot of you are thinking, am I going to get in through clearing or something like this? But really now is a key time to still get an application through before everything goes crazy through the middle of August. So if you do think, yeah, this is right for me, I've seen the students, I'm happy, I want to take that step, then please do just reach out to us. We're happy to help you. For us, we just want to avoid any disappointment for anyone. We really want to get the best result for you. And the more time you can give our teams, the better result we can give for you. But if you're not at the position where you want to make a decision yet, don't worry about it. We've all opened up our schedules as much as we possibly can to take on as many appointments as possible, all completely free of charge. So all you got to do here is scan the link, get yourself an appointment. You have absolutely nothing to lose and potentially absolutely everything to gain. We are expert advisors. We have years and years of experience working directly underneath our doctors and dentists running our organization. We are here to help you. As my colleague Daniela mentioned before, your success is our success. We want to do absolutely everything we can at Medlink students to ensure that your dreams can become a reality, but you need to reach out to us. We can't do it without you making that first move, you making the commitment to come and have a chat with us. Have an appointment, we'll talk on the phone, we'll ask a few questions, we'll work out exactly what it is you're looking for, and we'll see if the option to study abroad is something that is suitable for you. So do get in touch. We're happy to help regardless of your circumstances, whether you're a young student, a mature student, if you have A-levels, if you have a BTEC, if you have a high school transcript, an ATAR, whatever it may be, get in touch with us. We're going to help. We're going to have a chat about everything. And maybe if you're looking for this September, we might just be able to get you in time for you to start going into medical school and pursuing your dreams in medicine and or dentistry. So I want to say a huge thank you to all of the students and representatives that joined this evening. And I also want to say a massive thank you and show my appreciation to everyone who has stayed around this long to witness the webinar all the way through and to see everything. You've been a fantastic crowd. The questions that you've answered, the bits of time I've been able to go through the Q&A, they're fantastic questions. So please, I hope you've all saved all of these questions so you can come and ask us all as advisors in the appointments and go through everything. We cannot wait to help you. We cannot wait to see you start medical school in September, October time. Thank you again so much for joining, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.